Orange skies in New York City, Biden's student loan forgiveness plan, and a goat in Miami. That's some of what we'll get to on The 7 from The Washington Post. I'm Jeff Pierre. It's Thursday, June 8th. Let's get you caught up with today's 7 stories. Number 1. Smoke from the Canadian wildfires turned New York City an eerie orange yesterday. New York City experienced its worst air quality on record. It got so bad flights and sports games had to be delayed. Millions of other people along the East Coast were also under code red air quality alerts. Wildfire smoke can be dangerous to your health because the particles are so small that they can be inhaled and enter your bloodstream. This can cause a variety of short-term and long-term health issues. Older adults, young children, people who are pregnant, or have pre-existing conditions are the most at risk. Experts recommend wearing a high-quality mask that can filter out fine particles, or staying inside if you can. The East Coast is in for another day of smoky air, but conditions should start to improve after tomorrow morning. Number 2. Ukraine's long-awaited counteroffensive against Russian forces has begun. Ukrainian troops stepped up attacks on the front line in the southeast of the country last night. It was a significant push toward areas held by Russian forces. This opens up a crucial phase in the war aimed at taking back all Russian-occupied territory. The offensive is expected to unfold over the next few months. This is all happening while a vast stretch of southern Ukraine is underwater after a dam collapsed earlier this week. Rescue crews worked all day yesterday to save flood victims. Some entire towns and villages have been submerged or washed away, and it's still not clear who's responsible for destroying the dam. Number 3. Supreme Court justices were supposed to file their annual financial disclosures yesterday. 2 justices, Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito, asked for an extension. This may seem a little dry, but we're talking about it because revelations about Thomas's finances have put the court under pressure to improve financial transparency. Reporting this year uncovered that a major Republican donor treated Thomas to lavish vacations and reportedly paid boarding school tuition for Thomas's grandnephew. A conservative judicial activist also paid the Supreme Court justice's wife thousands for consulting work, but deliberately left her name off the paperwork. None of this was reported on Thomas's past disclosure forms, raising ethics and conflict of interest questions. Number 4.
I'm not going to back down on my efforts to help tens of millions of working and middle-class families. That's why I'm going to veto this bill.
Yesterday, President Biden vetoed an effort to block his student loan forgiveness plan. Biden wants to cancel up to $10,000 in federal student loans for tens of millions of Americans, or $20,000 for recipients of Pell Grants. But the proposal has faced legal challenges and Republican opposition. The veto brought an end to a Republican-led bill to strike the program down, but there are still some hurdles. Later this month, the Supreme Court is set to rule on whether the plan is actually legal or not. Number 5. Soccer in America will soon start to sound like this. Lionel Messi, the biggest star in the game, is set to play in the U.S.
Que voy a ir a Miami y todavía no tengo cerrado 100%, o falta.
Yesterday, Messi told Spanish media that he plans to sign for Miami's Major League Soccer club, though the deal isn't 100% finalized. This is pretty big news. The 35-year-old is one of the greatest soccer players of all time. He led Argentina to the World Cup title last year, and this move is expected to have a huge impact on global interest in U.S. soccer. Number 6, companies are getting more aggressive about bringing people back into the office. For example, Google issued an ultimatum yesterday. It told employees that they must come in at least 3 times a week, or it could show up on their performance reviews. Meanwhile, tech giant Salesforce said it'll donate for each day workers show up. Other big corporations like Disney, Starbucks, and AT&T have recently mandated office returns too. But these measures don't appear to be working so far. Office occupancy remains below 50% of pre-pandemic levels. Many workers aren't willing to give up the flexibility they've gained since 2020. And at number 7, researchers found out why a huge earthquake hasn't hit Los Angeles yet. The southern section of one of the largest faults in the world, the San Andreas Fault in California, has gone more than 300 years without a major earthquake. That's much longer than normal. And the reason is pretty surprising. A new study found that the drying of the nearby Salton Sea has postponed a quake. The water in the lake used to put pressure on the fault and push the tectonic plates further apart, causing quakes. Some people want to refill the lake, and the study warned that doing that could trigger seismic activity. But whatever happens, an earthquake is likely. The U.S. Geological Survey says that a strong earthquake will probably hit the Los Angeles area in the next 30 years. And just like that, you are all caught up. Make sure you follow or subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode. And by the way, you can now listen to The 7 ad-free on Amazon Music with your Prime membership. I'm Jeff Pierre. I'll be off the show tomorrow and Monday, but Christina Quinn will have y'all covered. See you next week.